Hey guys, this is Chelsea. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll talk about summer films because summer's almost ending and I want to reminisce a little bit before it ends. So I have a few movies here to talk about who just remind me of summer, you know. So we're going to talk about At Zola first and let's get into it. Spoilers, obviously. Okay, so it's about these two girls who meet on Twitter and they're both adult workers. They go on a road trip to Miami to like get some clients and stuff, and a lot of stuff happens while they're there. I remember the scene when they're in the hotel and they're trying to figure out the guys to come upstairs and having this big argument. They're talking about like how to meet guys, how many guys she's going to be with, and it's just like that whole like back in business side of things. I remember that scene very clearly, just because they're going back and forth a lot, and you really get to see their dynamic and how they just all of it came to a head in that hotel room. I remember them throwing down during that scene, but I remember a lot in this movie just like how chaotic it was. I really felt like I was watching a home movie of like two random people I'd never met before. I didn't really feel like I was watching a movie. I felt like I was watching like a camcorder road trip type thing. You know, it felt like guerrilla style in that sense. Not necessarily like the shots were guerrilla style, but it just felt like it was just kind of aloof and crazy. And it's kind of like, you know, in the summertime, at least in the 90s, I remember like going out with your friends and like you watch them skateboard maybe like a really random reservoir or like go in the back alley or something. Like it was giving that. It was giving like things that you shouldn't be doing, but you're outside, so you don't really care. You're just having fun with your friends. It was a lot of that mixed with turmoil, honestly, but I think the ladies just did such a good job of making it hilarious and funny, even though like the stuff that happened along the way was kind of serious. So At Zola is at the top of my list. I feel like that's a really good watch. It gave Spring Break vibes. If you guys have seen Spring Break, we're off to a good start here. Next one is Grease. I can't not mention Grease. I watched this a lot when I was a kid, going over to my dad's house, and when they're at the carnival and they're doing the dancing and stuff. Like when I think of summer, I just think of that scene, especially like when she has her glow up and she's in that really skin tight outfit with the pants. I actually read that she had to be sewn into those pants because the zipper broke. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but yeah, just like the carnival, being outside, being with a lot of treats, and just being with your friends. And I feel like also musicals, like music, I equate to summer. Like when summer comes around, I'm thinking of what songs are going to be at the top of the Billboard charts. And so like music, summer, music, Grease, like it just makes sense to me to have all that together. Next up, we have The Cure. I did talk about this movie before on my channel a few years ago because it's also a coming of age story, which I adore. Coming of age is my favorite genre like of all time. So The Cure is about these two little boys who, one of them unfortunately contracts AIDS. And at that time, AIDS was a very big thing because people were really afraid of it. So I feel like this movie did a really good job of bringing it, grounding it with children, you know, like having them kind of being innocent and figuring out this horrible thing that he contracted and going through the summer, their last summer together as friends. And they didn't really know each other that well before, I don't believe, this summer. But they went like down this river together. I remember the Butterfinger scene and like getting the magazine and seeing if they could find this guy who was supposed to know the cure for AIDS. You know, it was like one of those rag magazines, unfortunately, but they're kids, so they always thought it was real. To go on this journey down the river on this raft, and their lives changed forever. This movie has me in a chokehold still all these years later. I think about it quite frequently. I think about the scene when the two moms are having that conversation at the end and she finds out that she's harming her child, and like they have this head to head, and she's like, I really can't even describe it to you because it's just such an emotive scene and I just love it so much. Like the two mothers talking together about their children. It's really well done. It's a really well done scene. So I highly recommend The Cure also because like they're on a river, like it's very naturey. I feel like this movie is like, because they're in the backwoods, they're trying to figure things out. They meet random people on the river as well. So this is like nature scenery type film for me. Is The Cure. Okay, next one we have Superbad. Classic movie. These two guys, I mean, you guys obviously seen Superbad, I'm sure, but it's just these two teenage boys and they have this really close relationship, but then they all end up going to separate colleges. So they have this one last summer together, they're gonna hang out, they're supposed to like meet all these girls and like have all this fun. And then of course craziness ensues. This has got to be one of the funniest movies that I saw at that time anyway. Like, I remember cracking up throughout the entire movie and talking to my friends about it all the time. Also, Pineapple Express, this was that era. And then later there was also like 21 Jump Street. Like, it was that kind of that same kind of period of time with all these funny movies coming out. I mean, for Superbad, definitely a summer movie because they're going away to college. I remember specifically the last scene they have when they're at the mall, and they're shopping for their comforters, and they have Emma Stone's character come up, and they're like chatting, and they're like, it just was very quintessential childhood. Being at a mall, you know, being with a bunch of, you know, people that you like, your crushes, and then everything changes. It's like that last moment where everything is the same and you remember yourself and your friends in that moment so perfectly, and then there's like one thing that changes in your life, and then I just feel like from there you all change. Like it's like one moment changes, but it also changes your relationship with that person forever. And there was that sort of nostalgia, like yearning kind of like for childhood and also for your adulthood that's coming up. So like I just remember that scene and just being really enamored by it because I feel like it perfectly like summed up childhood ending and adulthood beginning. And yeah, that's just what I think of summer movies. Superbad. You get it. Okay, next one is Ride. Now this film, I gotta tell you, I'm the only person that I know of who has like seen this movie. I remember seeing it growing up, and ever since then, like everyone I've talked to has not heard of this movie. So I don't really understand if it was like a fever dream or what was going on there. But anyway, it's about these high schoolers. They go on a bus, they go on a road trip to shoot a music video. And I remember this movie because I was like, even though when I was watching it as younger, I was like, these people seem like way too old to be in this movie. And the things that they're dealing with as high schoolers was just like so over my head, you know, because I was probably like in middle school when I saw it. But I remember the scene when they're on the bus and the toilet breaks down and it just smells like poo everywhere and everyone's like freaking out about it. And there's like these crazy love triangles, and it was just like a mess of a trip and a mess of a movie kind of. But I actually think about it a lot because when I watch it, I feel like I'm actually there with them on that really hot bus. And I feel like I'm actually like, because like the way they're acting with each other is very much giving teenagers, very much giving like, we have freedom and we're going on our own to this place we've never been to before. And we're like, we're on a road trip. I love road trips. So, you know, it was just like very much like high school to me. But if you have actually seen Ride, please let me know. And last, we have Fried Green Tomatoes. It's a classic, you know, and we have such great acting in that movie. It's about a woman who goes to this this older town, like this off the side of a railroad, basically, like a town that's been forgotten, kind of. And she talks to this lady in an older folks' home, and they're just talking about her story and this town that she grew up in, and the people that she met there. And I really love the scene when they're all in the restaurant and we all find out that they're eating a human. Yeah, I love that scene so much because I feel like when I first watched it when I was a kid, I was like, there's no way. Like, because you could see it falling, the pieces like falling together, but then you're like, no, there's no way that's what's happening right now. That is what's happening right now. And I just love like how cleverly they covered all that up and how they had like the barbecue slab and the barbecue sauce going on top, and then her going back and telling her about it. I mean, when that whole scene unraveled in front of my eyes as a young kid, I was like, wow, like this is what movie making is. Like, this is like, when I saw that scene, like the suspense, even though like, you know, you're going for it, you know, you're putting the pieces together, but you still don't want to believe it. And I feel like those kind of moments, like that also reminds me of The Usual Suspects, right? When he's like walking, he's like hobbling away, and then he starts walking normal, and you're like, no, there's no way that's happening. That's how I felt watching this scene in Fried Green Tomatoes. But it just looks sweltering, you know. You're in the South, you have like the trains going by, you have the towns on the side of the road. Like, when I think of like what made people think of America that way, like maybe people think of America like the South, but that's not like the area I grew up in. So when I see that, I'm like, wow, this is like what America maybe like what people envision America being like is kind of like this movie. That's just like a world that I feel is expressed a lot in movies, but I feel like Fried Green Tomatoes captured it really well. It just felt like I was actually in the scene, you know, like I feel like I could smell everything. I could smell the food cooking. I feel like I was having a fan on me. Like, I felt like I was actually in that scene. you know. So that's why Fried Green Tomatoes came to my head. Yeah, those are my favorite summer movies. Kind of random and kind of a random ending, but let me know yours below if you have any that you love, and we can go ahead and talk about what I'm currently watching. I'm currently watching Heroes. I'm on episode 5 of season 1, and I never watched it before because I was like, I wanted like a nostalgic show, but not one that I've seen before, because I watched Buffy like too recently, you know, so I don't want to rewatch that again. And I was like, oh yeah, Heroes. People talk about that all the time. Like, people love that show, even though it had 4 seasons. I guess the ending wasn't that great, but I'll find out in a bit. Yeah, currently watching Heroes. I'm also currently watching Lucky on Apple TV. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. Like, if she is in any movie, I'm gonna go see it. She's kind of one of those actresses that I just kind of follow, you know, just because she's in it. But yeah, currently watching Lucky, and also watching Silo. It's crazy, you guys. I saw the last episode with my sister, and things are popping off. What else am I watching? I watched Spider-Man. Loved it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a rest of your day, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.